it's so nice to meet you.
It's so nice to meet you.
You're just coming off the CES stage and recent leadership announcements. How would you describe the moment at Hisense is right now as a brand?
Okay, so at Hisense right now, I feel like we are a rocket ship that's on an amazing trajectory to success. We create incredible technology, but the nice thing about Hisense is we don't gatekeep it and put it only in our most premium products. We actually put incredible technology in all our products. So any size, any screen, any price point, you can be feeling very secure that you're getting the best technology at the best price.
Love that. Mm-hmm. We're at CES, so there's a lot of innovation. How do you decide what actually deserves the attention of the consumer versus what you should do quietly behind the scenes and improve?
Yeah, so everything we do is based on insights at Hisense. So when it comes to making decisions, about any marketing decisions, in fact, we base it on the consumer and what are the biggest purchase triggers and what lines up with their demographic behavior and what do we know is going to motivate them to buy, advocate, share anything about what we're doing.
Gotcha. Makes a lot of sense. So in the last couple of years, and it's important to know that you've been in this seat for a month and a half.
Correct.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
The Hisense brand has become far more well-known, but you operate in a highly competitive space.
We do.
How do you find that white space to differentiate yourself as a brand in this?
Yeah, and it's so important when you're working in any brand, but particularly consumer electronics, so much of the marketing is a sea of sameness. So what I have found in the 30 years I've been doing this is looking for ways that you can connect with consumers, and that's usually at an intersection with culture, but it needs to be relevant to who your brand is. So I am always looking for what's hot, what's trending, what's popping on social media, and then how can we bring Hisense into the conversation as part of a solution to a common problem that consumers are experiencing. I think that's the best way that you can rise above in that sea of sameness.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. There was an interview where you mentioned that you went undercover so you could get the experience yourself, and I'm sure that data point in of itself has to be probably better than anything you're getting from a panel.
Yeah, well, you have to be careful because a lot of that is me-search, not research. Mm-hmm. So you want to be sure that you're not putting your bias into your decision-making. However, there is definitely merit to shopping the stores, walking the aisles, talking to consumers and hearing firsthand what they think about your product and your product experience. But yeah, many a Black Friday, I have been a undercover shopper / salesperson and have even corrected some associates on product information when I hear them saying the wrong thing.
Well, the other thing you were quoted saying is the complexity of the TV terminology, right? And how you figure out how to communicate this to people.
Absolutely.
Right.
People talk in texts and specs and speeds and feeds. What we use at Hisense is what I fondly call the grandmother test.
Okay.
Will your grandmother understand what you're talking about? And if no, then it's already too complex.
Mine probably still will not, but yeah.
She might, though.
I bet
I could talk to your grandmother and explain to
There you go. She hasn't talked to the right people. So I guess compounding on that, when you do decide to figure out what to talk about and what to focus on, what are some of the ways that you guys have been able to convey value just beyond price point?
Yeah, so consumers are redefining value in so many different ways, and it's what they get out of it and what benefits the product has and what multi-uses it can bring to the table. So what I like to do when we're talking about how we're marketing Hisense product is really look at it through a consumer-centric lens and talk about what's the consumer benefit. How is this product going to make your life better, easier, more convenient? That's value to the consumer. Yeah. And that value matters more than just a price point.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. We would be remiss if we didn't mention the very large sponsorship you guys have this year.
We do have quite a big one. It's also FIFA World Cup.
So can you tell me a little bit about what you're excited about? Obviously, soccer, football has never been a bigger part of the U.S. Zeitgeist. And how you're weaving that into your overarching messaging?
Absolutely. So at Hisense, we're super proud of our sponsorship of FIFA World Cup. And for me personally, I've played soccer my entire life. So go women's sports. I love it having its moment now, finally. And I am very excited because I feel that moment of watching sports, whether it's FIFA World Cup or any sort of thing that you like to watch at home. Viewing parties are so popular. It is the moment that brings our products and culture together in such a real way. Because when you are hosting your friends or family and you're watching this incredible soccer game, you want to make sure that you're seeing every moment on the screen. You're not missing the ball, that the color contrast is perfect. You get all of that with Hisense products.
Yeah. It's an incredible emotional attachment, right, that you're having in this arena. So then going back, there's another thing that you mentioned, which I really liked, is that one of the things you appreciate about working on the client side, and more particularly as a CMO, is having this consistency and making sure your marketing vehicles work together. I'd love to just get a little more on that.
Yeah, I think it's so important that as a CMO, you are looking after not just the traditional, the paid media, your digital media, your influencers, but then everything else that comes into it. For example, I started a new group we're calling Earned Marketing, and it's everything we're doing to earn attention. So it's our PR, it's our influencers, it's also our insights, it's also our sponsorships, partnerships, content creation. Everything needs to be working together so that you're communicating one message and creating a surround sound around your consumer. I even at Hisense have all of our retail under my remit. So when you walk into a store, you're being met with a similar message from a sales associate that's trained on it that you are when you're watching something later on Instagram that is also the same as what you're hearing when you are listening to your favorite podcast.
Yeah, the consistency obviously pays dividends.
Consistency
right?
is key. Yeah, for sure.
So we're going to turn a little bit just to your career.
Okay.
If that's okay. Stepping into a moment of extreme growth. What has surprised you the most so far?
I am surprised with the amazing quality of technology and our products and how quickly we bring it to market. So I've worked in the consumer electronics space for quite a long time with a lot of different brands. Hisense by far brings its products to the table faster. You see something at CES and a lot of the other brands, it'll be 2-3 year roadmap before it actually is on shelf. We last year brought out RGB technology in the mini LED TV in 200 days. It's just unheard of speed, and it's bringing innovation to the market also at a price point that's so attainable.
Right.
So a lot of other brands, they put their best technology only in the most expensive products that they have. We have figured out a way to get it in so many different price points.
Another thing I really liked is you mentioned how starting in PR has affected your decisioning. Always analyzing essentially the risk. And I'd love to understand, how you're applying that strategy to Hisense.
Absolutely. So I think one of my secret powers is that earned background, because you're constantly thinking about how to promote the brand, but also how to protect the brand. So when you're looking at creative, when you're looking at performance marketing, when you're looking at content that you're doing on social, you're thinking about how will this register with consumers and what's the potential risk? What's the potential backlash, especially in cancel culture? You have to be so aware of how different audiences can perceive your message and take that into account with what you're doing.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's important to, I guess, zoom out, right? So in this seat, can you tell us a little bit more about what brought you to Hisense?
Sure. I just have been very impressed with Hisense, with what we've been talking about with the technology that Hisense has, which how quickly they bring it to market and how quickly we are able to adapt to make price points a lot more attainable for everyone. I mean, we essentially at Hisense have products for any sort of consumer need. And we innovate not just for innovation's sake, we innovate because we are anticipating what consumers are going to need, and that's why we create the products that we do.
Again, on the CMO track, you mentioned earned a couple times. I think earned is important, but clearly it's very important to what you're working on. So I'm curious, are there other elements of your day-to-day that you're focusing a lot of your time on that you wouldn't have expected?
That's a good question. I can't say that it was unexpected how I spend my day at Hisense, but I will say I try to incorporate earned as a thematic through all of our marketing, just like I think we need to take a social first approach. And I also always want to build insights into everything that we're doing. I do not make any marketing decisions without pressure testing with our community or with our demographic that this is something that will actually work. Otherwise, you're just throwing money away if you're doing a big campaign and you have no insights backing up why you're doing it.
Yeah. I bet it's tough to not include bias. I'm going to steal from you the me search, by the way, because you tend to think you know what people want.
You can use it.
I appreciate that. Thank you. When you leave CES this year, what are the things you hope people remember about Hisense beyond the specs and the technical capabilities?
Definitely, when people leave CES this year, I want them to remember from Hisense how fast we bring technology to market and the attainable price points. Because we are delivering first ever for RGB technology, which is a color-based technology, but we're making it at a price point that anyone could buy it.
Gotcha. So you had mentioned on stage a couple of minutes ago, you were just speaking downstairs, that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are getting married on the first day of the FIFA World Cup.
Word on the street is that's their wedding.
Now, will you be at the first event?
I am sure hopeful. I mean, you mean the first kickoff, not their wedding.
Oh, no, the event, your kickoff, correct. Or maybe both.
I would really like an invite, so I'm going to put it out there to Swifty Nation or Travis Nation. If anyone's got a hookup, let me know.
All right, you heard it here first. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you so much.